And welcome to the Box Score. Jeff Barnes along with Terry Collins. And Jeff, regular season's over, a few tournament games in. This is when it's fun to me.
It is, and Terry, it's hard to believe it was seemed like just the week after Thanksgiving we started doing the show, and here we are.
Right.
The end of the regular season, the second season's begun.
You know, you see some teams playing in what we call the district quarterfinals. A loss, they're home, and then a win. You're insuring yourself 3 more games: the district semifinals, the consolation or championship game, and then the first round of the region. So a lot of pressure, I guess you could say, if you have to play in that opening round game. Fortunately for District 6 AA, they don't have that problem.
Right. You know, District 6 AA, you know, you have a chance you can kind of relax knowing that you have at least 3 games.
Right.
But for teams like District 7 AAA, there's
3 play-in games.
3 play-in games.
Right.
That's a little tough because, even though, your 2, 3, and 4 is at home, if, one bad mess up and your season's done.
Right. And of course, in District 7A, you had a play-in game, which featured Red Bowling Springs, Gordonsville Girls, Red Bowling Springs, Clark Range, which Red Bowling won both of those in Gainesboro. In one of those games, we did cover the Red Bowling Springs, Gordonsville, but you could just tell the pressure was there. Unfortunately for Gordonsville, their season ended, and there's 3 seniors' season's over, and there's just an abruptness to that, knowing that you probably not going to be able to play basketball. If you don't get an opportunity to play in college, then your basketball career is done.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially, you talked about the Gordonsville girls, who's had a tough season, had a decent 2022, but coming into 23, with Underwood out, a lot of injuries, and they just was not able to put it together, and it's unfortunate that their seasons
lost their last 16 games in a row and 19 of their last 20. But there's a young nucleus there for the Tigerettes, and we'll look for good things from them. Speaking of Tigerettes, let's talk about the Eagleville and Gordonsville game. Eagleville goes to Gordonsville and wins. That was our Huff and Puff Trucking game of the week. They get the win 67-41. McLaren leads Eagleville with 19, Sawyer with 11. For Gordonsville, the freshman Madison Askew comes off the bench and gets 10 points, and Levy Clark with 9. But once again, it's turnovers and poor shooting percentage, which hurt Gordonsville in that girls' game. Go ahead and looking at the boys. That was a 2-point game, which was won at the buzzer by Eagleville at Eagleville. But they shot the ball extremely well against Gordonsville the other night and come up with a 84-63 win. They hit 25 out of 26 free throws in that ball game. Gazaway leads the way with 22, Barker with 20, Braden Holland leads the Tigers with 21, and Eli Adams with 10. Of course, Gordonsville without one of their bigs inside, who's been one of their leading scorers, in Brody Sykes. So we'll just have to see as tournament times roll around this week exactly his status, because without him, they're a completely different ball team.
Yeah, they are, and it could be the difference of being at home in the first round of the region or going on the road, and which is something I know that they don't want to do. But that Eagleville game, hats off to Eagleville. 25 out of 26 from the line.
Right.
If you're a coach, you can't ask much better than that.
Sure, they're shooting the ball well. They shot the ball from the floor well as well. It wasn't that Gordonsville wasn't playing defense. It was just the fact they shot the ball real well. Worked the ball around. They played extremely well. I was impressed with Eagleville. Looking at the District 7A, Sonic of Carthage scoreboard. On Thursday night, you had Pickett County, a close game in Byrdstown, beats Red Bowling 65-62, and then Clay County beats Macon County 57-43. Then on Friday night, you had Clark Range and Clay County playing at Clark Range. Clark Range gets the win by 6, and then Eagleville, as we talked about earlier, beat Gordonsville, and then Red Bowling Springs beats an improved Monterey girls team 74-56. And on Saturday night, Cumberland County beats Clark Range.
Yeah, and Clark Range, looking at the Friday night, little momentum builder for them, getting that win against Clay County. But yeah, having to go play a tough Lady Jets team who has been a thorn in a lot of people's side.
Let's go ahead and look at some standings from the final regular season standings Clay County ranked number 2 in the state. Finishes 7-1, Pickett at 5-3, Clark Range at 5-3, then Red Boiling at 3-5, Gordonsville at 0-8 for the season. But 3 teams ranked in the top 10 of the state are Clay, Pickett, and Clark Range. Let's go ahead and look at some more, or talk about some more scores, and that's the 63-42 win that Red Boiling, the number 4 seed, beat Gordonsville. Bailey Bassengill, big first half, had 17 points, including 3 threes. Claire Fleming, the district MVP with 15. Kamara Young, outstanding job for her in Gordonsville's loss. 21 points on 9 of 10 shooting from the field, including 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Gordonsville's only down 4 at half, Jeff, and Young really, she scored about their first 10, 12 points. She kept them in it single-handedly.
She did all she could to keep Gordonsville in the game. Just, unfortunately, you need some help, and whenever Red Boiling Springs starts collapsing on you. You talked about the good nucleus, the good young nucleus that Gordonsville has got back, coming back from next season. I'm sure that, this will sting a little while, but I'm sure they're looking forward to next year.
That's a 4-point game right at the end of the third quarter where Red Boiling had missed their first 10 shots, but they go on an 8-0 run to end the quarter to push that lead out and then just continue momentum in the fourth quarter to get the 21-point win. Let's go ahead and look at the district tournament bracket. You got Clay County playing Red Boiling Springs. And Coach Matt Walker, he knows how dangerous Red Boiling is. He'll have his Lady Bulldog team ready. And then Pickett and Clark Range, 4 very good ball teams right there. And I predict that all 4 will be in the region semifinals. I think they're that good. Trouser County's the number 1 team out of District 8A, and Red Boiling Springs beat them by 25 or 30 here a couple weeks ago. It just shows you the strength of these 4 teams.
And the way you see this bracket right here, that is probably going to be how the region tournament is going to look too.
How the region semis will wind up.
And it'll be a shame that only 2 of the 4 would get to move on instead of all 4 of them.
Right. Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage scores from boys from District 7A. Red Boiling Springs goes on the road to Byrdstown, wins at 62-50. Clay County, a big win over Macon County as Macon County continues to struggle on the offensive end. Then on Friday night, the Huff and Puff Trucking Game of the Week, it was Eagleville over Gordonsville. Monterey gets the big win at Red Boiling, 46-26, and a defensive struggle. Red Boiling just really struggled shooting the basketball that night. And then Clay County beats Clark Range. And then on Saturday, Cumberland County gets the win over Clark Range. Let's go ahead and look at the standings. Clay County, the number 2 team in the state, they're sitting there at 22-3. They won it. They pinned both Gordonsville losses on them. Gordonsville has struggled a little bit as of late by losing some ball games. But Coach Greg Bibb, I know his Tigers are excited. They've got Pickett County next, a team they beat twice. But still, without Brody Sykes, that could be a different outcome. That District 7A tournament being held at Jackson County High School in Gainesboro, and then Red Boiling Springs gets the win over Clark Range in that 61-58 in that quarterfinal game, which as we look at the bracket and see that, they'll advance on to play Clay County, a team they played extremely close in the game at Salina. Red Boiling Springs, a very dangerous team, Jeff. We've talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about, still, 6 guys on the team. And we wondered, are they going to get a little bit of momentum going into the tournament? Yes, they've got it against Clark Range. How can they pull off another giant upset?
Right.
That would be in Gainesboro.
And then, of course, you got Gordonsville and Pickett in that other semifinal game. Gordonsville's won both games. And then on Tuesday night at 6 will be the consolation. 7:30 will be the championship. Let's go ahead and look at some superlatives out of the ladies' side, and that's Gordonsville. Libby Clark, Olivia Brown, Kamara Young, all honorable mention. Then for the Tigers, Braden Holman's first team along with Brody Sykes. And then Will Dudney, Ryder Grissom make 3rd team along with Peyton Clymer. Peyton Clymer was on the all-defensive team. And then Tristan Wood, Eli Adams, Tucker Smith, honorable mention. And Jay Foster, despite the injury, is on the all-freshman team.
And, hats off to the Gordonsville Tigers. All those accolades, that they got for the regular season. Hopefully, Sykes will be back and they can continue that strong run.
When you look at Jeff, just this tournament, being at Gainesboro, being up there for those 4 or 5 matchups. It's a big gym. It's one that it can accommodate everybody. Everybody in the Upper Cumberland loves to turn out for a district tournament, and I think it's a great venue. You got to give Jim Brown and Sean Loftus and those folks up there a lot of Kevin Thomas a lot of credit. Hosting that. It's central kind of for everybody, and it's just it's a great place to play high school basketball. And Kermit Forkham Gym, you feel kind of like Hoosiers, when you're going back in time because there's such tradition there in Gainesboro.
Yeah, that's one of the things you mentioned Hoosiers. I can give you a few places that kind of resembles Hoosiers, but that one will come to your mind very quickly.
Pickett County is exactly the same way.
Pickett County is the same way, but if you have not been to Gainesboro, that's you got to go at least once.
Right. That should be a great district tournament, and one that I know that they're excited about. Of course, the final 4 teams are set for the girls and for the boys. Should be some great semifinal games from Jackson County High School this coming up weekend, and then the Constellation Championship next week. We'll take a look at 7 AAA when we return to the Box Score, sponsored by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
Life moves fast, and that means all of your technology should too. DTC is proud to be your local technology partner, helping you connect what matters most, no matter where you are or what you do.
Realize your inner superhero with faster internet from DTC. Get a $50 bill credit when you sign up or upgrade your internet. We're talking unlimited plans with speeds up to 1 gig.
DTC Communications, connecting what matters most.
And welcome back to the Box Score, sponsored by Carthage Safeway. Jeff Barnes, along with Terry Collins, Justin Malden behind the scenes doing all the hard work for us. And Jeff, when you look District 7 AAA, as we look at this Sonica Carthage scoreboard, of course, these are the final regular season games. Clay County wins over Macon County. Upperman gets the big win over DeKalb. Cumberland over White County. White County offensively must have struggled. We normally don't see a Michael Dodgen team only score 36 points.
No, and in that game, Terry, just could not get it going. We just couldn't find the rhythm. And for some reason, the Lady Jets has had White County's number all year, winning in Sparta and then getting the sweep and that number 3 seed. Just a tough one for the Warrior Ants last Friday night.
You know, Cumberland County, a team that a lot of people thought would be better than what they are. They've got 2- and 3-year starters that are really heavy on that team, but it seems like they've struggled for most of the year.
I think when we had media day, I think I picked them 1.
Right.
At least on my sheet, I'd picked them 1. So for them to be in the middle of the pack, that kind of surprised me. But look at what Upperman was last year. They were 4 and wound up winning the state tournament. So Cumberland could be peaking at a time that they could be a dangerous team. Later on this week, whenever the tournament shifts to Tennessee Tech.
Livingston Academy gets the win over Stone, and then on Saturday night, Cumberland County follows up their 13-point win over White County with a 19-point win over Clark Range.
And I thought that DeKalb might get the upset over Upperman with it being in Smithville. It was close at halftime, but Upperman pulled away in the third quarter.
Let's go ahead and look at the final standings for the District 7 AAA. Livingston Academy, the number 5 team in the state. Both them and Upperman, with Upperman's win in Livingston on that final regular season night. Upperman sitting there at 26-3, Livingston at 23-5. But 2 awfully good ball clubs that I think have the chance to go to Murfreesboro and do some damage. Not saying that Cumberland and White County are out of it, but still, I think when you look, it seems like they've separated just a little bit from those number 3 and 4 slots.
They have, but Terry, in all honesty, with the top 4, which we'll talk about in a minute, White County is 1 against the top 2, so it's one of these where you can't rule out Cumberland and White. I think this right here, this is anybody's. Right. This is anybody's tournament to win.
20 wins for all 4 of those teams, pretty impressive as well.
Yes. Yeah, and when you look at that, if all of those makes it to the region semifinals, of course they got to go over in District 8 and play those teams.
Right.
But if all of them should happen to make it, which they all have a great chance, it's just a shame that only 2 of them get to move on.
District tournament bracket coming up at Tennessee Tech. As you notice, White County gets the win over DeKalb in that 4-5 matchup. Cumberland County over Stone in a crosstown battle in Crossville. And then Upperman gets the win over Macon County. So Livingston, White County square off in one semifinal at Tennessee Tech, the other one Cumberland County and Upperman. So, that should be 2 excellent semifinal games.
Talking about these 3 games last night, Terry, DeKalb took the loss against White County, but I want to say kudos to DeKalb. They fought hard all game long. Elle, Madison, Chloe, Hendrickson, all of them, Brandon, they did a great job. They have nothing to hang their head about, because it was like, White County trying to make a run, and here they come right back, and they kept it close until late in the third quarter.
Let's go ahead and look at the District 7 AAA boys. Sonica Carthage scores. You got Clay County big over Macon County. Then on Friday night, you finished up district play. Upperman goes to DeKalb, gets a 6-point win. When you look at that, DeKalb has kind of been up and down. I mean, we've seen them at times this year. Very impressive win over Livingston at home. But then at other times they have struggled. So which DeKalb County team is going to show up in that district quarterfinal game?
Exactly. I thought that this would be a game that DeKalb would win against Upperman. It was close for a while, but Upperman, got, pulled away late, got the win. DeKalb, they're a team that, I've said it a couple of times before. If I'm a team having to play DeKalb County to keep my season alive, I don't know if I'd want that or not, because DeKalb right now, they're a dangerous team. They can explode. Connor and all them, Ramos, they can explode. They can make things tough, and White County's going to have to be on their toes.
White County gets the win over Cumberland County by 18, and Livingston avenges a 44-point loss in Crossville with a big win over Stone Memorial, which is Stone Memorial's, the Panthers' only loss in the district this year, and that was at Livingston, I think, 63-53. And then on Saturday night, Cumberland County gets the win over Clark Range.
Yeah, that was a bounce-back game from them. They didn't play well against the Warriors. They led 5-0, and then after that, it was just all Warriors the rest of the way.
Looking at the final standings for the boys, Stone Memorial sitting there at 22-4, ranked number 3 in the state. Livingston at 23-4, ranked number 5. Then Upman at 18-7, White County at 18-10. Then DeKalb, that White County DeKalb County boys game, of course, at DeKalb. They've got a double-figure lead or 17-point lead in the second half, and White County comes back and wins it. I really don't know that Cumberland can challenge Upman, and I don't think Macon can challenge Livingston. I look for both of those, especially since those 2, 3, and 4 seeds will be playing at home. But still, that Upman White County could be a good one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. DeKalb could give White County some problems. I think you can kind of feel safe Livingston and Upperman advancing, but that probably is going to be the game to watch right there, White County and DeKalb.
Let's go ahead and look at the bracket. Of course, that's at Stone Memorial, except for the opening round, the quarterfinal games. White County will host DeKalb, Upman hosts Cumberland, and Livingston hosts Macon County, all those being on Thursday night. And then the winners of that will go to Crossville, play at Stone Memorial. Stone Memorial getting the bye, the number 1 seed, plays the winner of White County and DeKalb. And then Upman, Cumberland County winner plays Livingston, Macon. A lot of people feel like that'll be Upman and Livingston again, and Stone Memorial playing against White County. But it's tournaments.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. And should White County advance, Terry, you see what my day's going to be like.
Right. A long one. But at least it's two. When you cover, Crossville to Cookville is not that far. There are scenarios there where if you had to go to Macon and then turn around and go to Stone, that'd be a lot longer trip for sure.
Yeah, it would be.
Let's go ahead and look at the superlatives as far as the DeKalb County Lady Tigers. Elle ranking on the second team, and then the all-defensive team. Of course, she's just a junior. Her sister Chloe making the all-freshman team. DeKalb County boys under Joey Agee under his first year is a first-year head coach. Connor Close, first team all-district. Robert Wheeler, third team. Then Elisha Ramos, honorable mention. Antoniak on the all-defensive team, and then John Hendricks on the all-freshman team for DeKalb County. So, kudos to them and these guys. I know they'll say, hey, it takes my teammates to be a part of this and to get that honor, which is an individual honor, but really it's a team honor.
It is. I mean, you're right. A lot of these, a lot of the players. I mean, we've seen. We've talked with Elle. Mm-hmm. Elle is very complimentary, of her teammates because she says, without them, I'm not able to do what I'm able to do. And here she surpassed 1,000 points in her junior year, and coming back next year, you got both of the Van Brankens. DeKalb County. Could be, they could be a tough team, coming in the 23-24 season. And as we said about the DeKalb County Tigers, there's, a lot of a lot of players got recognized on there. So, we'll see how they do and see if they get a chance to keep their season going.
DeKalb is a predominantly senior-laden squad on the boys' side. Connor Close, I think, is a junior. So, as far as wanting to make a postseason run, they've got a very experienced team that'll be heading to Sparta. So, and with the success that they had at home, minus the last, quarter and a half of that game, the first 2.5 quarters, building that 17-point lead. I guarantee you, DeKalb County is going to Sparta thinking they're going to win.
I think so too. I think DeKalb's got a great chance of going to Sparta and getting the win. Can they knock off the Warriors? Warriors are playing some of their best ball right now. I think they've won 4 in a row in the district. One point they were 3-5. They finished 7-5. So right now they've got it put together. But they're a team that could be beaten.
Right. We'll have an interview with Smith County Lady Owls head coach Matt Ferrell and a couple of his seniors, and talk about the District 6AA tournament coming up in Carthage at Bill Lander Gym when we return to the box score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Here's normal internet speed. Here's the gig difference. Average speed, gig. Not enough speed, gig speed. With gig internet from DTC, everything's different. Video streaming is a breeze. Music and photos fly. And gaming gets real. With no data limits. That's the gig difference. Call or visit DTC online and get your gig today.
Here with Smith County head coach Matt Ferrell of the Lady Owls. We've got the two seniors, which are Addison Hawkins and Elle Haughton, with us. And we're going to talk a little about the district tournament, which is coming up. And Coach Ferrell, I know that you're the number 3 seed. You'll be facing off against Westmoreland. But one of those seniors to your right, you'll be glad to have her back come Friday night.
Yes, definitely a disadvantage last 10 days or so not having her on the floor with us, especially since she does most of the primary ball handling. So it's kind of a hard replacement piece to have right there.
Coach, you've been riddled by injuries all year with different players going down. You don't have a lot of depth. I know with Addison being out for a few games, hurt you, but hopefully you ready to make a postseason run now with all the pieces of the puzzle hopefully back together.
Yeah, I feel like we can't win for losing most of the year just on injuries and just little silly things. Things just haven't fell our way. But I feel like at the right time, all the pieces are like you say, all the pieces are in play now, and the girls seem to be pretty excited. They're pretty pumped about the prep this week, and I think we definitely are going to give them our best shot on Friday night.
How excited are you, Coach, to be hosting the district tournament? I think it's the first time since the late 70s that Smith County has had that honor, and I know that's not something everybody gets to do. I know Watertown has got an opportunity to do that the last few years. How excited are you to be playing on your home floor?
Well, we're excited about it. I mean, we kind of had came into the meeting with the understanding, me and Coach Sanders, we were going to try to kind of pitch a neutral side, to start with. And they were like, well, it's y'all's turn. You just hosted. And everybody kind of went with that. So, I mean, it worked out really good for us. I was told today they didn't think that it had ever been hosted here. You may have information on that. I'm not really for sure. But it's a cool thing because the vast majority of the time you don't get to play many postseason games at home. It's kind of a reward to play postseason games at home. So for us to get to host the first couple of rounds of tournament play, that's a big advantage for us, I feel like.
Well, Coach, 11 and 16, obviously not what you wanted for the regular season, but coming out in this district tournament and being at home, how well do you think you could play against a Westmoreland and a Cannon County should you make it that far?
Well, I mean, the one thing with us and both of those teams is, we played Cannon with our full roster the very first time we played them. That was Marissa's first day back. She got cleared that morning, played that afternoon. The rest of the time, we've kind of been playing with either not everybody there or like the last time we played Westmoreland, we still kind of had Chloe coming back from an ankle injury, so she's not really been back in full minutes, in the last week or two. We were without her for 3 weeks. So we're just now getting to where everybody is healthy and ready to play their full allotment of minutes that they've been able to play all year. So I feel like it's the best case scenario for us in that we get to host it at our home floor. We got everybody healthy at the right time. And I think, we've seen those teams play twice and they've got us twice, obviously. So they've got to feel decent about their chances too. But it's hard to beat a team over and over and over again. And I feel like the girls, like I said, they're excited about the prep this week. And excited to get an opportunity to compete.
Elle, let's focus on Westmoreland. I know that's the game that's coming up for y'all. They are awfully strong defensively. What is it that they do so well on the defensive end of the floor?
I think they gap really hard, which makes it kind of harder for us because most of the time we drive and kick out. So when they're gapping, it's harder for us to kick out or get that easy layup that we always get.
Addison, how are you feeling, first of all? Or you feel like you're back to 100%?
I think I'll be ready to go by Friday. I think I'll be good to go. I feel all right.
She got hurt in the Westmoreland game at home, did Addison Hawkins. And Coach Ferrell, when you look at these two seniors, it's your first year. It seems to me, at least looking at them off the floor and on the floor, they've been great leaders for your team. It's a different situation anytime a new coach comes in, but it seems like they've welcomed you with open arms and did what seniors should do in leading this team.
Yeah, I mean they've done an admirable job this year, just in embracing the expectations, which are a lot different. The style of play is a lot different. We've not been able to kind of play the pace of play that I would love to play because we've not had the numbers to do that. We've stayed injured all year and everything, but they've done a really good job leading in the locker room, making sure that everybody's on the same page, leading on the floor, with communication and the little things, the things that you expect older kids to do. But with a new coach coming in, sometimes they're hesitant to do that. These two haven't been that. They haven't been hesitant to embrace the things that I throw at them and I always tell them the preachings that I give them. They've done a really good job helping set a foundation for what I think we can be here for a long time.
Okay, Addison, in the game at DeKalb, I think you had a career high 29. That night, I don't know if Coach Ferrell or who lit a fire under you, but it seemed like you were determined to get to the hole. Did a great job if you went too deep of pulling up and hitting a mid-range jumper. You love to penetrate, whether it be left or right. What was it that night about the Cavs defense that made you excel so much on the offensive end and get your career high?
I mean, they were playing that zone and they were leaving holes open left and right. And so it wasn't very hard to find a lane and drive through it.
Elle, when you look at yourself, of course, you're an inside girl for us. You've stepped out the last few games and knocked down some threes. But just having that all-around game, you really love to drive the ball to the bucket. Seems like that's your MO on the offensive end.
Yes, sir. Usually, we always have a mismatch with me and Chloe both being in, because if I have a post on me, it's way easier for me to just get to the basket. But if I have a guard on me, I can just go post.
Coach Ferrell, when you look at your team and trying to upset Westmoreland, the second, well, I mean, they were tied for first in the regular season with Cannon. Cannon actually won that coin toss. But when you look at both teams, Cannon and Westmoreland, both pose different problems. Cannon with their length, you're looking at 6'2", 6'1", and maybe 5'11" if they decide to go with Lawson, Pelham, and Bush inside, which make it tough. We've got one big in there, and a lot of times they've got three. And then their guards are very active as well, creating turnovers. So I know that with Cannon County, you got a little bit different style than you do with Westmoreland. I know that first game when you played at Westmoreland, I had somewhere around 38, 39 shot attempts, and about 30 of those came from three-point range. So that's a little bit different style than we've seen from Westmoreland in years past.
Yeah, and I mean, I think in a lot of ways that's kind of their live or die this year. You know, they shot 9 twos against us at their place and 31 threes. At Cannon, I think they shot 12 or 13 twos, if I counted right, and about 25 threes. Of course, they didn't shoot it very well that night. They shot them all out against us, I think. The second time we played them, I think they only made 2 threes, so we done a lot better job of controlling the opportunities that they got, I thought, and made kind of forced them to play inside the three-point line. The biggest thing with Westmoreland, man, they're just so good defensively. We've got to find a way to kind of get advantages on the offensive end and get a few easy buckets. They really limit. They don't give you anything. You have to earn everything that you get against them, and that poses a lot of problems for a lot of teams, not just us.
Ladies, this question is for both of you. I know obviously you get a couple more games at home in the tournament. Going back to senior night, how was it that night for the both of y'all? Do you feel like your career might have just got started? It was like yesterday you was a freshman, and today you wake up, you're seniors.
It goes by way too fast. Way too fast. And that's what everybody says. You know, they tell you it goes by too fast, and you don't believe them until you go through it. It's sad, honestly.
I have to agree with Addie. I feel like yesterday I was just a freshman coming on, starting, and being so nervous to play, and now it's just like I can't wait to play, and I'm sad that it's over so fast.
And it would be great to have both of them back as freshmen, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
I was going to say, if you got any redshirt years left?
We could use a COVID year on these two right here. They would have it, I'm telling you.
Coach, let's talk about something a little bit different. And that happened on senior night. And that was when the manager, Dalton Shoulders, dressed out, gets the opening tip. Ryan Sleeper and his team graciously agreed to that, to where he got to score 2, and then at the end of the game got a 3-pointer. How special was that to be a part of?
Yeah, I mean, that was a really cool moment. I'm going to let these two kind of talk about that a little more, because our kids were really, really excited about Dalton getting the opportunity to do that. I heard a lot about that beforehand, before it even happened. Our locker room speech that night had to be incredibly short because they were not going to miss being out there when they called out the starting lineup. So I'm going to let them talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm really close with Dalton and his family, and ever since freshman year, they've always talked about Dalton's going to get to play on senior night. And when it finally happened, it was just so exciting, not just for him, but for everybody. We were like, Matt, you have to hurry up and talk fast. We got to be out here so we can watch Dalton. And I just feel like it was so fun for everybody there. that he got to experience where all the rest of us have experienced.
Addie, what about senior night? To describe the feelings that you went through. I know the crowd there was just tremendous when you look at the way they reacted. What did you think about it?
I mean, the atmosphere was amazing. There were so many people there and, screaming and cheering for Dalton. It was a great experience, honestly. Everybody was just happy.
Coach Ferrell, when you look at Dalton's shoulders, he's always grinning. He comes to me before the game, every game. He's got to have bubble gum. I said, Dalton, why do you have to have gum? He said, it's good luck. I said, okay, if it's good luck, we've got to do it. But, he kind of epitomizes what Owl Pride is about. Talk about that.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's there every day. He shows up. He does what he's asked to do. And, there's a lot of things that managers and stuff are asked to do that a lot of people don't necessarily like to do. And he does it, for the guys' team. And you can tell by the way they interact with him what they think about him. They have a really special relationship with him.
Coach, at halftime of the girls' game, Dalton comes out to warm up. And you could just hear, of course, I know you couldn't hear it in the locker room, but there was such a buzz for him dressing out, going out there. And of course, he had that real small player, freshman quarterback, Caden Powell, rebounding for him and throwing him back out. And every time he would hit a shot, then crowd goes nuts. And he's just at halftime warming up. And I said, when it gets to the game, it's going to be magnified 10 times than it really was.
Yeah, it was. And I'm, like I said, like they said, the atmosphere, the environment that night was kind of crazy. Everybody knew that was kind of coming and had prepped for it, and the excitement level kind of built. And then, of course, getting to go back in at the end of the game kind of was just icing on the cake a little bit, getting to send it again.
Coach, let's talk about the district tournament and get an opportunity to host that. I know Dick Massell, the athletic director, Scott Apple, your principal, along with yourself and Coach Trey Sanders. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Having been tournament director for several years, I know just how much work that is. But one I'm sure that you would accommodate for several years in a row if they would just have it at Bill Anders Gym in Carthage, right?
Anytime that they want to hold the district or region tournament here, we're more than excited to have it. I don't think the teams next year will be quite as gracious about that. We had to agree with Westmoreland that if we held it this year, that they could have it next year. And so I told EJ, I said, yeah, we'll agree to that because we don't think we're going to have you next year. So, and then that's the way it worked out. So it worked out good for us.
Coach, one final question. Having these seniors, I know you didn't experience the wins that you want, but I think the journey's been a lot of fun. I saw a lot of pictures from when you went to Hilton Head back at Christmas, and you made it about more than just basketball.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to, and we've had some in the past with different teams I've had. There's been a lot of success, but the biggest thing for me always is what they remember when they go back. Hold on just a second. When they go back, what are they going to remember? I mean, they're going to remember the wins and losses, sure, but there's a lot more to it than that. Trying to create an atmosphere, and that most of them will tell you, I don't know if these two will, but most of them will tell you, we work a lot on making sure the relationship with the players is good, between me and them, between them and each other. Because at the end of the day, I mean, these are people they've grown up with, they're going to live with, at some point in time, they're going to interact with during their life. And I want them to have good memories of the people that they went to school with. And I've tried to do everything I could this year to make it, to make 4 years worth of memories in 1 year, if that makes sense, especially for these two sitting beside me.
Well, Coach Matt Ferrell, we appreciate you visiting with us. Best of luck, Addison and Elle, in the upcoming District 6AA tournament at Bill Anders Gym in Carthage.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for covering Smith County Athletics.
We will preview the upcoming games from around the area when we return on the Box Score presented by Carthage Safeway.
Do you ever worry about the safety of your home when you leave? Or at night while you're sleeping? Then give your home a professional security makeover with help from DTC Security.
For just $49.99, get a system with a touch keypad, 3 window or door sensors, motion detector, key fob, and standard installation. Don't put off this important decision.
Contact us and start your home's DTC security makeover today.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old borrowed trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
And welcome back to the Box Score, our final segment. Jeff Barnes along with Terry Collins. And Jeff, good interview with Matt FERRELL and a couple of his seniors in Addie Hawkins and Elle Haughton. You know, they're trying to build a program that has struggled for several years, trying to get them back at the top. Of course, you know, the cast of characters not only is going to change with those two seniors graduating, but, you know, you're going to have a different district next year that they're going to be playing in. And some of those teams they haven't faced.
Exactly, and you know, hopefully they're going to be able to put it together. They got the district tournament at home. Mm-hmm. They've got Westmoreland. You know, they have a chance to knock them off and get another home game in the region.
Of course,
and hopefully they can.
The teams that win those district semifinal games will host in the first round of the region. If you lose and are in the consolation game of the district, of course, that means you have to go on the road at the number 1 or number 2 seed. Of course, you finish 4th in the district, you have to go to the number 1 seed of the corresponding district. If you finish 3rd, you'll have to go to the number 2 seed. Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage girls scores. Watertown at home gets their first district win of the year, beats Smith County 50-45. Watertown went on a 14-0 run there in the fourth quarter to get that win. They shot the ball extremely well. Out of that 14-0 run, Jeff, 4 of those were three-pointers. And, you know, you could just tell the weight off Coach Teller's team once they won that game. They were very excited to get their first district win of the year.
Yeah, and I know they needed some some momentum going into the tournament. You know, yeah, they're going to play the top seed, but it gives them a little bit of confidence to maybe try and get in the championship and another home game.
Westmoreland gets the big win over Cannon County after Cannon County won by 1 at home. They lose by 17 on the road at Westmoreland. Cannon County wound up being the number 1 seed, Westmoreland the 2 seed, Smith County the 3 seed, and Watertown the 4 seed for the upcoming district tournament in Carthage, with the semifinals starting on Friday night at 6 when Cannon County will host Watertown. Then on Saturday afternoon, I guess that was a 2 o'clock start, Central Magnet out of Murfreesboro, who's had an impressive record this year, gets a 2-point win over Cannon County. Central Magnet, they beat some awful good teams and have 20-plus wins on the season.
Yeah, they're one of those Murfreesboro teams that are very tough. They're joining the likes of Blackman and Oakland and all.
Right. Let's go ahead and look at the final standings. Of course, Cannon and Westmoreland both at 5-1. Cannon sitting there at 15-10. Westmoreland at 21-8. Westmoreland's played an awfully tough schedule. Smith County sitting there at 11-16. Watertown at 12-13 as we head to the district tournament. I don't, trying to get my crystal ball out here, it looks to be, at least looking at the regular season, Jeff, that Cannon and Westmoreland are destined to meet in that championship game. I don't know with Smith County and Watertown if they've got the firepower to beat, the 1 or 2 seed. I haven't seen it yet. Somebody would have to be awful hot and the other team awful cold.
Yeah, but if any one of them can pull it off, Coach Farrell's Smith County team has a good shot. Only because they're at home. And when you play at home, that kind of gives you a little extra confidence, and you got a lot of the crowd behind you too.
Of course, Westmoreland is so good defensively, and we talked with Coach Farrell about that. I think they've only given up like 28 and 29 points to Smith County in 2 games this year. If you remember in the region semifinals last year, Smith County held in the teens, like 16 points for the entire game. E.J. Perry and his Lady Eagles squad going to play lockdown, solid defense. I'm not predicting, but I am saying Smith County's going to have to get above 30 points if you're going to beat Westmoreland. Smith County's got to get in the 40s, I would think. When you look at Watertown, they had a couple of games last week where they won against Trousdale County, who's the District 8A champion, and then they knock off Smith County. So their Coach Jeff Keller's team's kind of on the rise as they head to Carthage for that district tournament. Now, I will say this, after 1 quarter at Cannon, Watertown had a 4-point lead and then got outscored 30 the rest of the way, and it is also a one-sided affair in Watertown, Cannon County getting the big win. And the one thing that bothers Cannon County bothers Watertown with is just sheer size.
I think Cannon's primed. We could be seeing them Murfreesboro this year, and so we'll see if Cannon can keep it going. Watertown, maybe they can make it. Maybe they can pull it off.
Well, you better not. You better finish second. Is all I'm going to tell you, because if you finish, you better finish first. Because if you finish second, then a trip to Jamestown, a trip to Monterey to play York. I'm not saying it's a loss, but York, the state runner-up from a year ago in Class 2A. Looks poised. They went to Oakland the other night, put a beating on them. Yeah. York's got another outstanding team with Gabby Beatty and that bunch. And no doubt, you want to stay out of their bracket come region tournament play.
Yes, you do. Yeah, stay out of there at least until the championship. I had a chance to see York over Christmas. Whenever they played White County, and they handled White County. So, for them to be a AA team, they're going up against these AAA and 4A teams, and they're not afraid. Oakland being a 4A team.
Yeah, they went to Oakland last Saturday night and got the big win. Let's go ahead and look at the superlatives for the Cannon County. Isabella Pelham, the co-MVP, along with Mallory Cassidy out of Westmoreland. On the defensive team is Pelham and Holt. Holt is also first team. Second team, Jenna Bush, Addie King, second team, Addie Lawson, honorable mention, and then Abby Alexander, co-freshman of the year, along with Watertown's Macy Braley. For the Smith County Lady Owls, Elle Haughton is on first team, Marissa Spivey second team, Addison Hawkins is on the second team as well, along with the all-defensive team. And then honorable mention for the Lady Owls is Erin Enoch, Abigail Hackett, and Chloe Collins. For head coach Matt Farrell. For Watertown, Madison King on the first team. She hit a couple of big threes against the Lady Owls to get that win of a 5 at home. Wynn Franklin, honorable mention, all district, along with being on the all-defensive team. So kudos to these young ladies for the individual awards they've got. But, it takes being part of the team, and you just got to give their teammates credit for their success.
And we heard, Addie and Aaron, they were talking about, how well that, they kind of gel together. Even though it's not, the wins has not, been a lot. They're under 500. I think they're poised for the postseason.
Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage 6AA boys scoreboard. Smith County gets a huge game from Peyton Hicks, 18 points in that game. They win at Watertown 56-37 in that game. 14 points and 12 assists from senior point guard Matthew Sinclair. He was just spectacular as Smith County wins by 19. And then another close one between Westmoreland and Cannon. Cannon wins by 1 at home. Westmoreland wins by 1 at Westmoreland last Friday night, which gave Westmoreland the number 2 seed and Cannon the number 3 seed. I can't wait to watch them play at Bill Lander Gym on 7:30 on Saturday night.
How about that? 2 one-point games. Are we going to have another super game coming up Saturday night?
Of course, I believe the game at Woodbury, if I'm not mistaken, went in double overtime with Cannon winning that by 1. Then on Saturday afternoon, Cannon County loses to Murfreesboro Central Magnet 60-42. Let's go ahead and look at the overall standings. Smith County has won 5 straight to get their season back square, 13-13. The last time they were that good was at 2-1 after they won in the opening week of the regular season. After Hall of Fame play, they won at Hartsville to go to 2-1. They finished the year at 5-1. Their only loss at Westmoreland. Westmoreland finishes at 4-2, 21-7 overall. Cherie Abner, Coach of the Year for the Eagles. E.J. Perry, the Coach of the Year for Westmoreland Lady Eagles. Then Cannon County sitting there at 3-3. Of course, both of their losses, or 2 of their losses, came to Smith County, and they split with Westmoreland. They did defeat Watertown twice. But Watertown, even though they're 0-6, they've got Trent Spradlin. They've got some players that, could give Smith County some trouble. And they've done that at times this year.
This is the time of year you can't fall asleep on anybody, no matter. Now you can't look at Watertown and say, oh well, they didn't win any games in the regular season. Right now it's 0-0. Right. It's anybody's game, and you got to win if you want to get a home game in the region.
Right. Kevin Honeycutt in his first year for Watertown. Let's go ahead and look at the district tournament bracket. Of course, that's at Bill Randolph Gym in Carthage. Smith County, the top seed for the second year in a row, will play Watertown. Of course, last year Smith County played Westmoreland and barely pulled that game out at Watertown in that semifinal game. Cannon County defeated Watertown in that semifinal game, and then Cannon County upset Smith County in the championship game. So we'll just have to see what happens. Westmoreland Cannon at 7:30 Saturday night. If you ain't got anywhere to go to Bill Landers Gym in Carthage. With that game being as close as it was both times these two teams met, Cherie Abner's Westmoreland Eagles and Jared Nave's Cannon County Lions, that should be a great game to watch.
Oh, it is. And if I wasn't on my way to Cookeville Saturday night, that'd be the place I'd stop.
Let's go ahead and look at the Superlatives. Antonio Jones, first team and all defense for 6AA. Theo Winters, second team and all defense. Eli Pelham and A.J. Armstrong, both second team. For Smith County, Taylor Lane Dickerson and Matthew Sinclair, both on the first team. Peyton Hicks on the first team as well, along with the all-defensive team. Bryce Curry was the Defensive Player of the Year. Clayton Rigsby, second team. And then for Watertown, Trent Spradlin was first team and all defense. Well, that about wraps it up for this show with the box score. We'll have more tournament scores for you next week. As for Justin Malden and Jeff Barnes, I'm Terry Collins. Good night from the box score.